second, the extra hitter, number 11, Connor Gates. Batting third, right fielder, number 25, Alex Key. Batting fourth, the catcher, number 15, Marcus Butts. Batting fifth, your first baseman, number 10, Andrew Bishop. Batting sixth, the third baseman, number 29, Carter Kip. Batting seventh, the left fielder, number 30, Grayson Briggs. Batting eighth, your designated hitter, number 19, Bryce Pedrosia. Batting ninth, the center fielder, number 27, Chase Hubble. And batting 10th, number 1, Kakeru Tsukamoto. Second base. And on the mound tonight is number 18, Jaden Corpin. Okay, fans, at this time we ask that you please rise if you're able, remove your caps, and sing along if you'd like as we honor both Canada and the United States. First, the national anthem of the United States will be played, followed by the singing of O Canada.
Good evening, I'm Darren Clark, here to welcome you back to more Perfect Game Collegiate League Baseball League action as your Niagara Ironbacks welcome the Newark Pilots to George Taylor Field here deep in the heart of the place where dreams come true, Merritton, Ontario. Last time we had the town of Arcadia, New York's finest here. They were riding high atop the BGCBL West standings, buoyed by scorching hot bats and some serviceable pitching. Now, they find themselves 8-7-1, coming off a serious spanking at the hands of the 4-15 Geneva Red Wings this past Tuesday. Their offense sits in the middle of the league along with their serviceable ERA. There's no longer getting the service it requires. The West is a logjam, though, with 6 teams within 3 games of first place. Beneath that logjam, we find the first-year Ironbacks, who have been getting a summer's education on just how good this league is. We've talked at length about the many MLB players that have honed their chops in the PGCBL, from Nick Pivetta to Ernie Clement to the great Luke Maley, and the Ironbacks have found out firsthand the elite quality of PGCBL. My goodness, I hope I don't have to say that acronym anymore tonight. Competition with teams that have returning cores and long-standing pipelines to refresh their talent. The Ironbacks sit at 2-15. Both their offense and pitching are aligned with that record. They've earned it. The team is looking to bust out of an 8-game losing streak versus the Pilots tonight. Stay tuned. Starting tonight for Niagara will be Jaden Corpin, one of our favorites. He's 0-1, 4 appearances, 15 innings pitched, 4.80 ERA. The Ironbacks actually lost last night 5-0. They're shut out. Only managed 2 hits, so see how they do tonight. Cooper Loyal leading it off for the Pilots. Loyal batting .302, 43 at bats. 1-0 here. Corpin just missing on his first pitch. Just missed it on the inside there. You can see the wind blowing, picking up here just as game's starting. Move right to left. Ooh, Corpin really getting pinched thus far in the strike zone. So if that's any indicator, the strike zone is going to be a tough find today for both pitchers. There you go, 3-1. Corpin out of Ajax, Ontario. There, oh, not so fast, Cooper Loyal. Suddenly the strike zone expanded a little bit. Corpin, of course, we've seen before. He's using anything and everything he can to get batters out. Hesitations, a big mix of pitches, usually working backwards. But he starts the game off with a walk, not the way he'd hoped. Hasn't actually walked too many so far this season. He's actually been one of the more walk-adverse pitchers in the Ironbacks lineup, who have had some very pro-walk pitchers so far this season. Yeah, only walked 4 in his previous 15 innings. He's behind on Wensley. Wensley batting .326, 3 doubles and 46 at-bats. Corpin holding Loyal on. Well, last time we saw the Pilots here, they were running wild, definitely aggressive on the base pass. They don't have a few of their more hyperactive stolen base guys. Loyal really looking like he's thinking second base here. There you go, 1-1. I don't think we're going to see too many hesitation pitches with a runner on first base. Ooh, that was a close play at first base. Quick move from Corpin there. Like I said, the first time the Pilots were here, they were atop the league in batting average. They've fallen since. Lost their last 2. As I said, the aforementioned spanking versus Geneva. Corpin struggling to find his release point on that curveball thus far. 2-1. There you go. Found it that time. 2-2 on the outside corner. Wensley didn't seem terribly impressed by the call. 2-2. Nobody out, runner on first. Fought that one off. Nice job by Wensley to stay alive. He was fooled on the curveball. You know, I think Corpin, the more pitches he throws, the more the batters get to see. It's not a ideal, less than ideal situation for him. Him and Loyal are having quite the battle there at first base. He's just getting back. No. Curveball once again coming in high. It's been a tendency thus far today, so it's a full count. See if Loyal, who's been looking like he's jonesing to steal a base, takes off this time. Just missed on the outside corner. That's 2 walks to start the game. Anthony Hector coming to the plate. Anthony Hector had a real nice game last time we were here. He went 3 for 5, 3 RBIs, played a real solid shortstop. Hector playing second base today. There you go, nice curveball starts him off. Corpin's got to right the ship fast here. Strike 2, nice pitch. Loyal really trying, bouncing around off second base, trying to draw away Corpin's focus. And I remember the first time we saw Corpin, that was a bit of an issue actually. He was much better last outing. There you go. Tried to sneak a fastball past him. Hector's a good hitter, fought it off. 0-2. See what he does here. 0-2 pitch. He could waste one. Might be a time to go a little bit further out of strike zone. He hasn't yet to Hector. Corpin steps off, but didn't mean it that much. There you go. Single just through short. Fumbled by Briggs in left field. That'll allow Wensley to get the third. That's an RBI from Hector. Just waited on the curveball. Served it through short. Shin had been moving towards second base, holding the runner on, which in hindsight, maybe not the play. Well, runners on first and third, nobody out. It's 1-0. Noah Brooks, the best hitter on this Newark team thus far this season. He's slugging .561 through 41 at bats, 4 doubles, a triple. On base .537, which ain't too bad. There you go. Starts him off with a strike on the outside corner, a little fastball. There goes the runner. That ball's hit into left. Bricks is traveling back. That's gone. Home run. First home run for Noah Brooks. First home run hit here at George Taylor Field. That makes it 4-0. Almost like he knew that little curveball was coming. I just kept traveling. As I said, the wind is traveling from right to left tonight, so that may have given that ball the extra few feet it needed to just get over the left field fence and into the purported beer gardens out there. 4-0. Newark, who are finding their groove here against Corpin. Tough start for Corpin. Get a little ground ball. That's going to be all kinds of trouble. That's a single. I feel like I saw that play the last time Corpin was on a mound here. I think that's just a single. So tough start to this game for the Ironbacks. Looking to get out of that 8-game losing streak. A little more erratic strike zone tonight than perhaps some other nights. But definitely not the reason we are where we are. It's 1-1. Yeah, Brooks did a nice job. Almost felt like he was waiting for that curveball to come. 1-2. See if Corpin puts his hitter away. Man, strikes just keep coming. Single for Chris Finicario. Nick DiGiacomo is up. The right fielder. Runners on first and second. Nobody out. The catcher. Understandably, Marcus Butts, a little visit out to the mound to try to have a little soothing chat with Jaden Corpin. Some ABBA playing over the loudspeaker, trying to make everybody feel better about where things are at right now. It's kind of what ABBA does. Corpin still looking for an out. That ain't going to be an out either. Ripped out to Briggs. Briggs comes up tossing. Everybody moves up a base. The bases are loaded. Corpin has not fooled anybody when he needed to. Bases drunk. Jacob Poletto comes up to the plate for the Pilots. Poletto from Bossier Parish Community College. He's from Miami, Florida. I feel like I might have overpronounced Bossier. Could be Bossier. Bossier. Yeah. Close in on Canada today. Of course, it's a multilingual country. I tend to French up those words. That ball hits the plate, bounces in the air to the backstop. Everybody moves up another base. Runners on second and third, nobody out. Feel like that's going to have to be a wild pitch. It is 5-0. Poletto's still at the plate. Poletto with a drive in the left field. That gets caught by Briggs. Runner's going to come home. Finicario. DiGiacomo moves up to third. So, oh, there was an appeal at second base. Okay. So they're actually calling DiGiacomo out, that he left too early from second base. There was an appeal. Third base coach wants to chat with the umpire about the call, it looks like. Score is now 6-0. Not sure what kind of conversation, what it would do. Well, it was a short chat. Appears nothing much has changed. 2 out. It is 6-0. Liam Wagner at the plate. Bases are cleared. Wagner hasn't played a whole lot, but when he has, he's actually see 2 for 3, batting .667. Not a bad start. A little more pop on that pitch for Corpin. Wagner out of Emerson College. He's from Hingham, Maryland. There you go. It's another strike. Counts 1-2. That ball is just flared into center. Hubble settles easily underneath it. But it's 6-0. going to the bottom of the first. Ironbacks coming up down by those 6 runs. F8, yep. Am I just on mute right now? Do you have anything going? Welcome back to George Taylor Field for the bottom of the first. It's a beautiful late June evening here in downtown Merritton. Ironbacks coming up. They're in a significant hole, 6-0 right now. Carter Shin leading off, you know. It's one at bat at a time. That's outside. Ball 1. It's 1-1. Ooh. Just at the bottom of the strike zone. It's 1-2. Rip that one down the left field line. I was a wee bit inside, but Shin staying alive. Oh, mercy. That one just clipped the helmet, I believe. That was rough. So Shin goes down to first on a hit by pitch. Seems okay, though. Starting tonight for Newark is Calvin Burkholder, who's actually been really good so far this season. He's 2-1. Has a 3.45 ERA, which is remarkable for this league. Through 15 2/3 innings, given up 18 hits. He's struck out 17. So that's pretty solid. 2 wild pitches, 2 hit by pitch. Oof. Goodness. That's just a wee bit outside or on the very big black of that home plate area. So 0-1. Solid lead. There goes Shin. Ball's hit high near to the third baseman. Throw to first. Shin moves up a base. That's a 5-3. Easily handled by Grant Ingram there at third base after the bounding ground ball. Alex Keene, the right fielder, up next. Keene with one of the few hits last night, one of the 2 hits last night for the Ironbacks as the offense tries to get itself back on track. Ooh, it's a little low and away. That's been a strike all day, though, so it's 0-1. Yeah, Mel Roman and Jaime pointing out the third baseman as a really interesting Really interesting setup there. There's a ground ball to the second baseman. A little hop. He handles it. 4-3. Shin moves up to third. So that's a couple quick outs for Burkholder. Brings up Marcus Butts, the catcher. Andrew Bishop on deck. See if Butts can get him on the board. Burkholder's interesting. He's got a really kind of elaborate windup here. Oof. Those corners kind of expand and shrink at random. 1-1. There's a rip in a left field. That should score a run. It is fair ball. Butts should get extra bases off of this. That's an easy double for Butts. 1 run comes scored. They take a little bite out of that 6-run lead. And when you hear Kansas, it can only mean one hitter's coming up. Your favorite second baseman, Andrew Bishop, back to first base today, but it was fun while it lasted. There's a rip right up the middle. I don't know. Butts is probably, they're sending Butts home. Here comes, they're just going to hit the cutoff man. Look at Andrew Bishop. And another little bite into that 6-run lead. There you go. After a quiet night last night against Niagara Falls last night. You realize when you start to say something and then think, do I know the rest of that? Yeah, it was the Niagara Falls Americans. Nolan Jackson was a great outing for Niagara Falls Americans last night. Good pitch from Burkholder. Bishop, who's been adventurous on the bases of late. See what he does here, down 4. And Burkholder thinking about him a little bit, tosses over. Ooh, that's strike 2. Quickly ahead, 0-2. Carter Kipp at the plate. There goes Bishop. Ball is in the dirt. Bishop gets a second easy. Another stolen base from the suddenly fast and furious Andrew Bishop. Just reinventing himself as an entirely new guy. He's playing second base. He's stealing bases. 1-2 on Kipp. Oh, that's a little number just off the end of the bat. The catcher picks it up. That'll be an easy play to first base. But Ironbacks grab a couple. It's 6-2 for Newark going to the top of the second. Welcome back to George Taylor Field. 6-2 is the score for Newark after 1 inning. Jaden Corpin back out on the mound, trying to make a little bit better of a endeavor here against the Pilots. Really roughed him up last inning. A couple of little crucial junctures in there. The 0-2 count versus Hector, where just kept throwing pitches in the zone. Probably paying a little too much attention to the runner on second there too. Allowed the ball through the gap, and then, hey, that was just a good piece of hitting from Noah Brooks, crushing that one out to left field. First home run hit here at George Taylor Field this year. There's a ball lifted into left field that'll fall in front of Briggs. Briggs is going to limit him to a single. Jason Brown leads it off. They are right on Jaden Corpin thus far this game. Cooper Loyal come up. He walked last time. That was a really tough start there. 2 walks. Both batters got to see a lot of pitches, as did their teammates on the bench. That's a ball 1. Ball 2 right away. The best part of the game tonight so far for Jaden Corpin has been holding guys on at first. There goes the runner. A little curveball, throw to second. Nice toss, but nice toss. He's gone. Great toss by Marcus Butts. Nice tag applied there by Kakeru Tsukamoto. All right, 3-1's a count. A little break for Corpin. That ball's going to be nice play by Kakeru Tsukamoto. Oh my goodness. Man, circle that on your scorecard. That was a play worth revisiting. Man, that ball had single written all over it until Tsukamoto just glided over there. Had that ball melt into the leather of his glove. That was a beautiful thing. It deserves some poetry. Somebody should write something about that. Yes, that's right. I would mention the greatest play I ever saw in my life, made by Mel Romanin here at George Taylor Field, but we've mentioned that before. Let's give some credit to the new generation. Kakeru Tsukamoto. Nice little curveball. Got him 1-2. Now, the put-away pitch has been the problem so far for Corpin. Let's see what he does here. There, he dialed it up a little bit. Right idea, maybe the wrong location. Couldn't get the man to chase. We'll see what Wensley does here. He walks his last at bat. 2 grounder to first. Bishop fields it neatly. So there you go. It's 6-2 through 1.5. Here comes the Ironbacks. George Taylor Field for the bottom of the second inning. The Ironbacks starting it off with Grayson Briggs at the plate, playing left field. Burkholder was solid there in the first inning. Well, there's a grounder off of his glove, handled by the shortstop, throw to first. And I thought Burkholder getting on his glove, get his glove on that might have caused some trouble, but it did not. The shortstop handled it nicely. It's a 1-6-3 ground out. Cooper Loyal adjusting really well. Burkholder actually had a tough first inning, giving up 2 runs, 2 hits. He started things off by hitting Carter Shin, but he gets a little bit of a break there. Bryce Bedrosian now up at the plate. Oh goodness gracious! That was a ways off of the plate, but okay. 0-2 on Bedrosian. That was well outside. Burkholder testing the threshold of that expansive outside corner. 1-2 on Bedrosian. There you go. It's still pretty expansive. That's a strikeout. It's 2 out. Chase Hubble now coming to the plate. To the sounds of Johnny Cash. Trying to keep the inning alive. Fouls that one off. Foul ball, horn springs to life. Hasn't seen a lot of action so far. That's just off the end of the bat. Grounder to third. Throw to first. Dug out by the first baseman neatly. Nice play there at first base. So through 2. It's 6-2 for Newark. As soon as we come back, let's go. Welcome back to George Taylor Field. I'm going to tell you, fans, for any of those of you who are in the Niagara region or in drivable distance of this field, by not attending this game, you miss out on great things like John Raddick just crushing his Lancer is the answer commercials between innings. You can't hear it if you're not here. So another reason why you should come down to George Taylor Field here in beautiful downtown Merritton and drink in a good game of baseball. Anthony Hector coming to the plate. He singled RBI. Big hit between the vacated spot between third and second. It's a strike, curveball. He started off Hector with 2 curveballs last time, was way ahead. And there's Hector, rips one right to short. Shin takes a second, double pump, throw. 6-3. 1 out. Almost the exact same play from Hector last time, just waited on a curveball. He seems a little bit fooled by it. That's 1 out. Strike. Brooks homered deep to left field last time. Maybe partially wind aided, but not a lot. Didn't need a lot of aid from the wind. to get over the fence. There, he gives him a little hesitation. He's breaking out some sauce, some condiments for Brooks, and probably appropriately so. Brooks came into this game as the best hitter in the Newark lineup, slugging .561, and that number has only gotten higher. There, busted him in on the hands. You gotta like Corpin's battling with him. He knows who he's facing here. He's up 0-2. What do you do here? Maybe see if you can get him to chase one. He's busted out the hesitation pitch, a little sneaky fastball in on the hands there last. Let's see what happens now. That ball is drilled deep to left field, bending, foul, but over the fence. Brooks, not the slightest bit fooled on that pitch. And yeah, I mean, the wind is an active participant in today's game, and there are some that might be suggesting that it pushed that ball just a little bit foul. The pitch was also way inside, so in fairness to Corpin, that would have been a tough one to keep fair. Oh, just foul. He's staying around the strike zone here. In fairness, Brooks is he's a hitter. He did not come to today's game with modest goals. There you go. Lays off of that pitch. This is a great battle. This is fun. This is why you come out to watch baseball games. 1-2, 1 out. Let's see what Corpin's got here. That ball is popped up in the infield. There you go. Corpin wins that particular battle. It's a pop up to Carter Kipp from third base. 2 out. Corpin could use a quick inning. Grant Ingram up at the plate. Ingram singled his last at bat. And good for Corpin for fighting back. You know, after that first inning, a lot of guys would have just lied down. He's standing tall. Still bringing it, challenging hitters. 1-0. 2 out. Hesitation pitches back, baby. 1-1. That ball's fouled off. I think I characterized it last time that he had, with all the different hesitations and different pitches, he had some shamrocks and shenanigans going on. Dedicated to House of Pain and make frequent appearances here on the PA. I think it's more like rhyming and stealing this inning. It's more of a old school Beastie Boys thing happening. 1-2, 2 out. Corpin, rhyming, stealing, delivering. See what he does on 1-2. Ooh, goodness. That was some sweet chin music there. Makes it 2-2. Ingram batting .300 thus far. He only has 28 Bs, so he's been an irregular starter here. Oh, nice pitch. Ball high in the air. Tsukamoto under it. Shin under it. Shin takes it. 3 up, 3 down. Well done by Corpin. It is 6-2 going into the bottom of the third. Ironbacks trying to claw back. Welcome back to George Taylor Field for the bottom of the third inning. Kakeru Tsukamoto leading it off here against the pitcher for Newark, Calvin Burkholder. He's hometown of Aurora, Colorado. He's a sophomore pitcher for Oberlin. He's done well so far, limiting Ironbacks to 2 runs. That's a little bunt by Tsukamoto, and that looks pretty darn good. That's a pretty darn good bunt. Well done by Tsukamoto. That's just a little razzle-dazzle play. Ironbacks fighting back. You love to see that. Tsukamoto, long been a favorite of ours here in the broadcast booth. If you look at the various bios of players, they were asked favorite artist was one of the questions, so recurring answers would be like Drake or Florida, Georgia state line, that sort of thing. For Tsukamoto, it was French Impressionist painter Claude Monet, which, come on, how can you not love that? Got a big lead, back to first base. Yeah. Non-stop razzle-dazzle going on from Tsukamoto, who clearly is aspiring to perhaps more than just a bunt single. Shin takes that pitch, which has been a strike many times tonight, but not right there. 1-0 on Carter Shin, who got hit actually in the helmet in his first at-bat. Quite the lull there. There goes Tsukamoto, ripped by Shin. That's going to go foul, though. Just a little bit ahead of that pitch. There's Tsukamoto. This is non-stop entertainment. 1-1 on Shin, who's been consistently the most competitive at-bats put together by Shin. Let's see what Burkholder does after. There's that, strikes back, baby. One and two. Burkholder not too rattled by the runner. There goes Tsukamoto. It's low. There's a toss up just underneath it. Stolen base for Tsukamoto. That's a pretty good toss. Pretty good tag. Just that the ball came up a little high on the second baseman, Anthony Hector, allowing Tsukamoto to just get under it. It counts 2-2. Big opportunity here for Shin. Big gap between third and short there. Ball is just a little low. We started to mention this earlier. The third baseman for Newark, Grant Ingram, has a real interesting approach to playing third base. He's in a crouch, kind of sideways, as if he's trying to steal a base. I'm just not sure which base. There's a little grounder just off the foot. Foul. Full count. Nobody out. Tsukamoto causing all sorts of commotion, from the bunt single to the stolen base. I don't know how many guys they've got holding him on second right now. It seems like a second baseman and a shortstop. Then there goes Tsukamoto, fouled down the first baseline. Tsukamoto has completely infatuated our PA guy, which is wonderful. Full count. Tsukamoto on second. Had a giant jump there last time. Burkholder seems unfazed by the running antics. Oh, just missed that one. That's just a high fly ball to center field. Easily handled out there by Finicario. Yeah. That was about just waist-high curveball. It didn't curve that much, so I think Shin probably liked that. Another crack at that pitch. Connor Gatens, the extra hitter. Your favorite hitter, the extra hitter. Gatens grounded to third in his last at bat. Gatens came to the game as a leading hitter on the team. It's the only home run for the team. He's batting .345 coming into the things tonight. Rips one through the hole there, short at third. Here comes Moto coming home. What a toss! He is out. That was a great toss by the left fielder. Aggressive. That was Jacob Paletto with a toss from the outfield. Well applied tag by Noah Brooks, who's having quite a game on both sides of the ball. And that's a single for Gatens. Moves up to second on the throw home. Yeah, real nice toss by Jacob Paletto. 7-2 for the first out of the inning. Gatens now on second. I expect much less running adventures with Gatens on second. Alex Keane at the plate. That's ball one. Keane's been excellent of late. Looks really strong and dialed in at the plate. See how he does here against Burkholder. Ooh, just missed that one. Burkholder trying to speed things up with his delivery and the pitch. Keane batting .288 coming into the game. He had 3 doubles. On base percentage of .373. Paying a lot of attention to Gatens on second. I'm not sure why, but pitch is way outside. It's one of those funny things that there's like a carryover sometimes, and I wonder if Moto's aggressiveness hasn't got the Newark Pilots fielders thinking a little bit more about Gatens than they normally would. Strike 3. Oh, it's a little high. Or not strike 3, strike 2. Strike 2, thank you. Thank you, Cord. That's good news for Ironbacks, though. Ooh, Burkholder with a little frown towards the home plate umpire. Like, come on, guy. 3-2. He's got more than his fair share of generosity today, though. But that one was close, no doubt. 3-2 is the count. There goes the runner. My goodness, why? That was something. So the score is 6-2 through 3. Welcome back to George Taylor Field. Chris Finicario up at the plate for Newark. We spent the the moment in between innings there, trying to figure out exactly what happened there at the end of the third. It's a fly ball just over short, handled nicely by Shin. Nice grab. That's one out. But what exactly happened with Connor Gatens was a subject of some discussion. Perhaps he just got overwhelmed. He saw Tsukamoto running wild and thought, why couldn't I do that? And maybe we find out some of the answers to that question. One out. Corpin, who after a really tough first inning where he gave up 5 straight hits, battled back into the fourth. Been really good the last couple innings. Faced a minimum amount of hitters over that time. Working different things. I'm not sure what Como was complaining to the umpire about. I mean, as one of the fans neatly pointed out, don't complain about pitches that are close to you if you're going to stand that close to home plate. 1 and 2. Corpin smartly followed that up with a nice little curveball. Maybe another pitch inside. Why not? There it was. Oh, goodness. Oh, my goodness. That was tough. Yeah. The fan out here just in front of me, I can hear, is actually saying really smart things. We should have like a smart fan cam. That's line to Briggs, who made a bit of an adventure out of it, but does catch it. Basket catch there and left. It was a little bit frozen immediately, the ball off the bat. That was solidly hit by Giacomo. I really struggle with that name. Giacomo. I'll work on it. I'll get better, I promise. I do aim to pronounce names properly. That ball's hit high in the air to Hubble, is going to camp underneath that. There you go. 3 up, 3 down again. We go to the bottom of the fourth. It's 6-2 Pilots. Welcome back to George Taylor Field. It is 6-2 Pilots. Alex Keene is at the plate, which is interesting because it was a full count. There was a pitch that came in. We assumed it was a walk, so I thought Keene would not be up now that he took a walk. But physics be darned, he is going to have the at-bat. The umpire talked about it. Now they're talking with Newark, who are saying, wait a second, what about physics? And they're like, no, we've decided physics doesn't matter. What happened to Keene last inning was impossible. A 3-2 count, a pitch came in. The runner was thrown out at third base, but he either walked or struck out, right? I mean, it has to be one or the other. But apparently, again, it doesn't have to be one or the other. The scorer beside me, I can see going into a mild panic. because I don't know how you would score that. Still outside. It was 2-1. That's fascinating. That's not something that happens every day. 2-1 to Keene, the impossible batter. Oh man, Burkholder with another tilt to the head because that was right down the middle. That was a strike if ever there was a strike. 3-1. That's fouled off. It's all things impossible are happening at once. Full count. Oh, the umpire is saying it was actually ball 3 on Keene at the end of the last inning. Which, okay. Full count on Keene this time. Fouled off. This could go on forever. Just need Keene to jump in a DeLorean with a dog and some plutonium and speed into the past. Full count still on Keene. Takes a walk. There you go. Which is what he thought he did last time. So.
Okay, now batting, catcher number 15, Marcus Butts.
Marcus Butts come to play. Doubled his last at bat. Butts last night was 0 for 3 against the Niagara Falls Americans, but it was a night of 0-fers. Butts batting .293 coming into today. Then he takes that ball 1. 12 hits and 41 at bats. Looking to find that power stroke. Keene with a deliberate leadoff first. That ball is off the fist and should fall in. I'm not sure why Keene held up there, but there you go. He gets the second. Single for Butts. His second hit tonight. We got runners on first and second.
First baseman, number 10, Andrew Bishop.
Yeah. Ironbacks looking for a little home cooking here in Merton. Andrew Bishop, your favorite base stealing second baseman, comes to the plate. That ball's line right at second baseman. That's a tailor-made double play, and that's exactly what happens. 4, 6, 6, 3. Keene moves to third. That's tough for the Ironbacks.
Ale House for sponsoring this inning. Meriton School
Oh, premature PA happening there. So we've got, it's 2 out, runners on third base.
Now batting, third baseman, number 29, Carter Kemp.
Carter Kipp at the plate. Out of Welland, Ontario. Went to Notre Dame High School. That ball's ripped down the third baseline, but foul. Got one off the end of it. The bat, his last at bat, thrown out by the catcher at first base. 0-2 real quickly on him, which I believe happened last at bat too. Oh, just in on the fist. Easy play for Burkholder. Tosses it away. It was too easy for Burkholder. It's a glove to his face and stares up to the heavens, wondering how in the world he made an error there. That is E1. Burkholder doing himself absolutely no favors. Burkholder, as I mentioned, went to Oberlin College. Had a decent season there too, a 3.91 ERA, 53 innings pitched, 41 Ks. Strike 1 on Briggs as he tries to get this inning over with and limit the damage from his real easy error there. Ooh, ooh. You know what? That was a pretty good pitch. That's a fair call. I know Mel Romano behind me does not agree with that at all, but it's 0-2. There goes the runner. Briggs swing through that. That's strike 3. A run comes home, an unearned one at that, but it's 6-3 for Newark, going to the top of 5. Welcome back to the place where dreams come true, Merritton, Ontario. Ironbacks are dreaming of a little comeback here after being down 6-0 in the top of the first. Jaden Corpin's battled back. The hitters have nibbled away at that 6-run lead. It's now 6-3 for the Pilots, top of 5. There's a high fly ball into right field. Should be an easy can of corn. And it is for Alex Keene. 1 out. Liam Wagner with the fly out there. He actually made a terrific play, defensive play at first base there earlier tonight. Should have mentioned that as neglectful. Jason Brown up to plate. In a really sweet little line drive single his last at bat. See how Corpin does with him this time. I believe it was the first pitch swinging last time, so takes that one high. Again, full credit to Corpin, who's actually 8 outs in a row here. That ball's fouled off down the third baseline, past the Pilots' dugout. Ooh, a little extra sass on that fastball. Count goes 2-1. Oh, that was a sweet curveball. That was beautiful. I enjoyed watching that curveball. Some curveballs are more pleasant to view than others, and that was definitely top shelf in terms of viewing pleasure. 2-2 is the count. Tried another one. You know, when you throw a curveball that beautiful, you think, I should throw another one. Even more beautiful. But a lot of times that happens. So it's full count. 1 out. Oh, right idea, wrong location. That's a walk to Brown. Corpin been excellent there, and perhaps I jinxed him by mentioning those a number of outs in a row. Cooper Loyal comes to the plate. He's played a fine shortstop in the field. He's walked. He's popped up to second base. Oh, actually, I believe he hit a line drive there that Kakeru Tsukamoto made an awesome play on. Lest I forget, I think I recommended to all those folks scoring at home to circle that play, and there I went ahead and didn't circle it myself, and I should have. Brown leading off first base. That ball is in on the hands, popped up. That could be trouble. Tsukamoto, look at that. Kakaru Tsukamoto with a nice little play again. He's putting on quite the clinic today. A little razzle, a little dazzle. Some suggestions from management that they may hide him in the luggage to get him over the border. 2 out, runner on first. Corpin, who's been terrific at holding the runners on. You know, holding base runner has not been a specialty for the Ironbacks this year. Oh, just got him. There you go. Corpin picks him off. We're out of the top of the fifth, going to the bottom of the fifth. 6-3 Pilots. All right, welcome back to George Taylor Field, and I told you, well, if you don't come down to the park, you miss out on these Lancer commercials. Here's this little taste there, little taste from John Raddick. Was it the vocal stylings of John Raddick talking about the Lancer Restaurant on Hartzell Road, one of my favorite breakfast places. Bryce Bedrosian leading things here off here for the Ironbacks. Strike one. Went one little chasing on that first pitch. Well aside from Burkholder. Burkholder entering his fifth inning of work. He was a victim of himself there last inning with a tough play on it. Almost too easy. A little too much thinking. He seemed paralyzed by the ease of the play. So 1-2 on Bedrosian. Led to a run at any rate, but there's a strikeout to start the inning. That's his second strikeout at Bedrosian. And here comes Chase Hubble. Grounded third his last at bat. You know, I suggested to Hubble when we were talking like a possibility of, you know, some Daniel Romano, a fine, talented Welland kind of indie country guy, and it seems like nobody took my suggestions, which is fair. That happens a lot. So it's another ball there. 2-0 on Hubble, trying to get on base. Canada Day coming up. You know, we should really think about Canadian artists. If you've never checked out Daniel Romano, you should. One of Welland's finest. He's actually got a really good song called Welland 2020. You can check out the video, which really focuses on some of the perhaps not highlights of the city of Welland. Ooh, tried a little wrinkle there and it worked. Nice curveball from Burkholder. Full credit to him. You know, you take away that first inning, and the score's 1-0 over the last 3.5 innings. So the pitchers really kind of honed in, and that one run was an unearned run, which, as I mentioned, was Burkholder just threw one away. Hubble fights one off there. That was a little inside. Probably ball 4, but always easy to point that out from the press box. Hubble plays a fine center field for the Ironbacks. Ooh, that's strike 3. Back-to-back Ks for Burkholder, ended last inning by King Briggs. So he's found his best self here. Now here's so far the highlights of the game. The razzle, the dazzle have all come from Kakeru Tsukamoto. A little conversation with Richard Griffin. That's a long. We got him both hands on the shoulder. He's really imparting some knowledge, as I mentioned last game. Griffin, a member of the Hall of Fame here in Canada, as well as the one in Cooperstown. And here comes Tsukamoto, who bunted to get on base last, and the third baseman is like 5 steps in on the infield grass. They are very much thinking about that. You know, a little swing and bunt. For those of you who might remember Tony Fernandez. Tony Fernandez, the J, my favorite player ever. Love the swing and bunt. This would be an interesting time to do it. 1-1. Ah, man, boy, that's bold. Ingram is right on top of the plate. That's outside. I always hesitate on the outside calls because sometimes they are not balls. 2-1. 2-2. Good pitch from Burkholder. Burkholder looking for his 4th straight strikeout here. It's suddenly become like a pitcher's duel. Who would have thunk it? Ah, there you go. Tsukamoto stays alive. He's been having a day. He's been fantastic in the field, fantastic at the plate. He's been a menace on the base pass. Why not keep it going? Keep the party going. A little popper to left field. Oh, that's a sweet catch out in left field by Jacob Paletto. Speaking of having a fine day, Jacob Paletto's been amazing in the field. So it is 6-3 after 5 for the Pilots. Hey fans, welcome back to George Taylor Field. It's 6-3 for the Pilots. Leading things off for the Pilots is Casey Wensley out of Wheaton College. He's from Ryanham, Maryland. Ryanham, Maryland. Okay, that's a name. Fouls off the first pitch. Graduated from Bridgewater Raynham. It's Raynham. Yeah, sorry guys. Raynham High School in 2023. 2-year letter winner in baseball. Addition to earning 3 letters in golf for the Trojans. There you go. Named to the Boston Globe and Boston Herald. Nice play by Andrew Bishop. Wensley gesturing to first base like, come on, that's a play. And it is. Let me finish it down. Boston Herald, all scholastic teams. So you you got to credit people that are good at school, good in there, good at sports. It's a nice mix. Great play by Andrew Bishop there.
Now batting shortstop, number 6.
One out. Corpin ended last inning by picking runner off first base and has just been a beast here since the first, which was not a good inning. Starts off with a lollipop curveball, just missing at the top of the strike zone. Hector struggled a little bit with the curveball, but got enough bat on the ball in the first inning. Really choking up here this time, which is interesting. Didn't like that call. I find it fascinating that he's choking up because you don't really think, I tend to equate choking up with like not being able to catch up to something. And he's really just struggled with curveball, but okay. There's a ground ball to first base. It's all about Andrew Bishop, who misses that one. They still got a chance. They get it. Oh, no. Oh, that was such a heads-up play by Tsukamoto. Bishop missed the grounder as it flattened out as it approached him. Everybody seemed to give up except for Tsukamoto. Stuck with it. The runner gave up. And then Corpin covering first just couldn't hold on to it. I think everybody was in shock. So, yeah. I don't even know what they're calling that, but I guess that's an error on Corpin. I think that's an error on Corpin, really, because Tsukamoto could have had the out. There's a grounder to Tsukamoto, tosses to short, Shin to first. They get the one play. Fielder's choice. Nice, Tsukamoto's having a game. This is like a coming out party for Kakeru Tsukamoto at second base. He's been fantastic today. Grant Ingram coming up. He's been real good at third base. Fouls off that first pitch. Flew out to short in his first at bat. Man, you know, the Pilots came in kind of limping into Merritt here today, is struggling a little bit with their play. Looked great in the first inning, and everything's kind of quieted down at this point. Ooh, that was just outside of the strike zone. Count goes to 1-1. Corpin, really, you can tell he's way more confident. And again, whoa, that was another good ship lollipop curveball with Ingram kind of holding his hands up to the pitcher like, what can I do? Or I'm not sure what. Almost like he was complaining, I'm not sure what. There goes the runner. Curveball in the dirt. That'll get him. That's a K for Corpin. Good job. After 5.5, it's 6-3 Pilots. Welcome back again to George Taylor Field. It's a beautiful late June summer night for a ball game that looked like it may be real ugly off the get-go, but it's kind of settled into a really interesting battle. We've got Kakeru Tsukamoto coming out party here, being a beast on the field, at the plate, on the base paths. And now Niagara trying to cut into that 3-run lead with Carter Shin leading it off. Squares around, pulls it back. That's ball one. Let's see how they handle that at third base. Ingram's been real aggressive. He's a couple steps in already, which I think might be a mistake because I don't see Shin really bunting again. So there you go. He was swinging away. It was 2-0. Ingram takes a step back. He's a really unconventional third baseman. There's a rip in a left field. That'll be a man on to start it off. Shin takes an aggressive turn, but chills out. That's a single. Carter Shin, as I said, consistently the most competitive at bats on the team, probably Carter Shin. Speaking of which, they really started loaded up the top of the lineup today, which isn't a bad idea. Connor Gayton's up now. 1 for 2. Gayton's only home run on the team. As I mentioned, 345 coming into the game, slugging 552. One to 0 the count, nobody out. Modest lead for Shin by Connor Gates goes to Southeastern Community College. He's out of Tillsonburg, Ontario. Tillsonburg, Ontario, of course, subject of a great song by one Stompin' Tom Connors, everybody's favorite Canadian with a cowboy hat. It's 1-0. I don't know who would be the competition for great Canadians in cowboy hats. Let's see. Lauren Green? Foul ball down the third baseline. A little Bonanza reference there. You have Relic from the Beachcombers, but that wasn't really a cowboy hat. It was more like a toque. Favorite Canadian in a toque would probably be Relic from the Beachcombers. Just going back old school on Canadian references here. 1-1 is the count. That ball is definitely outside. 2-1. Burkholder looks a little disappointed with that, but he's got to know. He's got to know that was outside. 2-1. Oh, that was a fatty. That was a fatty. The Gatons rock just foul down the left field line. Definitely was not Burkholder's best pitch of the night. That one just hung up there, inviting being smoked. And Gatons definitely took that invitation seriously. Just a little bit foul. 2-2. Betting fastball. There it is. A little low though. You know, Burkholder kind of has that one sneaky fastball where he speeds up his windup and usually delivers it just a little low, but full count now. There goes the runner, miss a slow curveball. It's just under the tag, but that was what I think, not what the base umpire thought. So that's a double play. Double play. You guys, if you're watching at home, you can make your own decisions. I felt that Shin got underneath that. Good curveball, though, from Burkholder. Give credit where it's due. He struck out 4 guys the past 2 2/3 innings. That's a shame for an Ironbacks team looking to cut into a 3-run lead. A promising start just ended. And again, full credit to Burkholder, who got away with one there and that at bat. That's an excellent pitch. Oh, that is lifted into left field. Wow, did that ever drift? My goodness. You know, I've talked about the wind earlier in the game, and Man, that really looked like an innocuous fly ball. Nothing to write home about, nothing to see here. But, you know, Jacob Paletto's played a fine, dandy left field tonight. Just kept drifting and drifting and drifting. And, yeah, double Alex Keane. Good for him. And, you know, that's the thing. A lefty hit one. It's already going to slice with the wind. And that one just kept going. Large meeting at the mound. See if they leave Burkholder in here to get that final out. Some pointing by Ingram. Maybe some positive things. Like, you go get him. You go get him. Noah Brooks lingers a little longer on the mound. A little friendly punch to the shoulder. And here comes Marcus Butts. Double RBI, single run scored to see if Marcus Butts keeps the music going. And I got our favorite walk-up tune, Kids. I feel like MGMT. No, they're not Canadian. Nice curveball. There's that Jim Dandy curveball from Calvin Burkholder. That's a good curveball. We've seen some good curveballs from both pitchers tonight. That's outside. 1-1. Butts looking really dialed in tonight. And a single would be real helpful here. I'm surprised the right fielders are really shallow. That's low. Brooks posturing, popping up like he's going to throw down at second base. His infielders definitely didn't take it seriously. Keane did, though, and scurried back to the bag. It's 2-1. Marcus Butts trying to keep a perfect night perfect. Oh, and he waited around for that curveball to arrive. That's a tough ground ball for Richard Griffin down at third base, who Mel tells us has made some spectacular plays down there. But that would have been another E5C if you're scoring it at home. 2-2 is the count on Butts. Did a nice job in that curveball. There's a nice rip, but right at Ingram. 6-3 Pilots going into the top of the seventh. Okay, it's top of seventh here at George Taylor Field, and up for Newark is Chris Finicario out of SUNY College, the infamous 49-0 SUNY team. He actually at SUNY hit 388 in 34 games played, 487 on base, 633 slugging, 22 stolen bases. That's a season, baby. That's a high fly ball that's just going to go out of play. And unlovely meeting with the aluminum benches here in the stands. Jaden Corpin out here for the top of the seventh, and few would have suggested in the top of the first that he would be seeing the seventh inning of tonight's game. Gave up 6 runs, including starting off the game with 2 walks and then 5 hits. Here he is in the top of the seventh. Full credit to him. That's overcoming some adversity. It'd be real nice to see him have a clean inning here. He's got Finicario, Giacomo, and Paletto. First 3 hitters. Ooh, that curveball did not curve. It's 1-1. See the shadows starting to climb into the infield. 1-2. Nice. Came back with a better curveball there. Finicario from Maeston, New York. There's that big hesitation, and oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. It seemed to invite the strike 3 call just based on location, but ooh, that busted inside. 3-2. See if Corpin. That's a tough call there. But it's full count. Tough calls come, tough calls go. That ball's fought off. Foul from Finicario, which is a fun name to say. I'm enjoying it. Good battle here between Corpin and Finicario. Finicario rips that one into the gap. Briggs has got to try to track that one down, turn and fire, but that's an easy double for Finicario, who can run. Leadoff double after an prolonged battle with Corpin. You got action in the bullpen for the Ironbacks. Nick Giacomo is up now, runner on second. That ball's fouled straight back. It was a little outside. Giacomo really chasing that one. He flied out to left his last at bat. He singled in the first. It's a little high. 1-1. I think last time there was some controversy about an inside pitch with Giacomo. Oh goodness, that ball's high, but with this wind, it's going to go well foul. Just beyond the bullpen, man. He hit that a long ways. That kept traveling. One and two. Third time around the order here for Corpin. Giacomo certainly seems dialed in on him right now. Pretty eager to get the bat on the ball. There's a high fly ball to left field. Briggs tracking back at the fence, makes the catch. There goes the runner to third. Briggs can throw. Actually was pretty close. Nice catch by Briggs back there. Giacomo trying to take advantage of the robust winds. Cruising out over the left field fence, but just couldn't get it to find the extra couple feet it needed for a home run. So 1 out, runner on third base. I imagine the infield's going to be playing in, and I imagine correctly, as Jacob Paletto's had a fine day in the field, not so much at the plate. He's 0 for 2. Takes strike 1. You've got a pretty fast runner there at third, as Finicario's proven himself to be aggressive and quick. Paletto with the baby blue bat. Oh man, Corpin gets pinched on that call. That was a pretty darn good pitch. Treated very skeptically by the home plate umpire. It's 1-1. Ooh, snap, crackle, pop. 7th inning. Corpin still got his best fastball kicking around. It's 2-1. Paletto's giving the Ironbacks some heartbreak with that little catch of Moto's flare there early. Hits one down to Bishop. Bishop looks the runner back. Easy play at first base. Well done. Some savvy defense by the Ironbacks. 2 out. Runner on third. Liam Wagner, the first base. He's flown to center. Flown out to right. He's 0 for 2. Made some fine plays at first base, as I mentioned earlier. Dug a few errant balls out of the dirt for outs. That ball is a little flare over first, but Bishop takes it in. Well done by Corpin. Through 6.5. It is Pilot 6, Ironbacks 3.
The 7th inning stretch. Stand up, stretch it out, and get ready to sing along. This inning is presented by Honey Inn and Suites on Ontario Street in St. Catharines, a proud partner of your Niagara Ironbacks, and the perfect place.
All right, welcome back to George Taylor Field. We have a new pitcher for the Newark Pilots. Looks like it's number 20. Warner Gearhart is on the mound. Calvin Burkholder had a real good day. Gearhart on the mound. So it'll be interesting to see how this goes. A little bit of a elongated windup, and probably if I was thinking a little more clearly, could have left it in commercial for a little while longer. But here we are. I've figured out who's on the mound. Gearhart has actually pitched 9 1/3 innings thus far this season for the Pilots. Only given up 8 hits. He's struck out 7. His ERA is 1.93. We'll find out more about him in just a moment. You can see the shadows starting to climb past the mound. Bishop at the plate. Oh, nice cut by Bishop there. Bishop has singled, stole a base, grounded out to short. Lefty here. Oh, that was a nice little curveball that Bishop stuck with for a single. That's a fine piece of hitting from Andrew Bishop. Is starting to find his thing there at the plate. in the field. I think it was just playing second base.
Now batting, third baseman, number 29, Carter Kipp.
Carter Kipp at the plate. Kipp is really been probably happy to see the end of Burkholder, who really had him twisted in knots. Found himself behind 0-2 right off the bat, both appearances. There you go, Bishop again, the adventurous. Bishop probably could have got second there because Brooks had definitely lost sight of where that ball was, but Bishop, I guess, shared in the experience. So it is 1-0. Big opportunity for Kipp to endear himself to the team here. Oh, misses that one. I want in on the hands, maybe a little bit low. This 1-1 is the count. Kipp, kind of a newer Ironback. We'll get you more details about him. Oh, chase that one. 1-2. It's 1-2. Bishop, the modest lead off first base. That's strike 3 on Kipp. That generous outside corner returns, but I mean, in fairness, that's the outside corner. And on 2 strikes, this far into the game, you know exactly what that pitch is going to be called. So, not that much sympathy from up here. Nice K from Warner Gearhartz. And out the pause was just me not being able to read my own handwriting. Okay. We got a pinch hitter for the Niagara Ironbacks. Looks like Nolan Phelan. Is it Nolan Phelan up there? Nolan Phelan is substituting for Grayson Briggs. Is that Nolan Phelan Sans, the mustache? Let's see how the new aerodynamic Nolan Phelan does here with the runner on first base, lefty on the mound. Phelan, first pitch swinging down to third, to second, to first. That's 2. Double play ends the inning. It's 6-3 Pilots through 7. Well, I guess we're going to kick around and hear the winner of the old 50-50 draw. It's a big moment. That's why we're going to stick around. Sausage or burger is the question. I'll go with burger. Thank you, Mel. Probably going to need some relish with that. We're staying live. No relish. What kind of world do we live? Double mustard then. Thank you. There we go. All right. Welcome back to George Taylor Field. It is 6-3 Pilots. New pitcher on the mound for the Pilots, Burlington's own J.J. Reynolds. Reynolds entering into today with a 12.79 ERA. He's only pitched 6 1/3 innings. Starts it off with a strike. He's actually faced Newark before, I believe. Jason Brown has been a tough at bat for the Ironbacks today. He's singled and walked. Oh, and 2. Nice start for Reynolds. Got the glove right over his face. That was a ground ball to Tsukamoto. He waved off somebody. I'm not sure who. That's, you know what, that's an artist right there. He put his hand up. Nope, this is my ground ball. This is my ground ball. Tsukamoto has been a delight. Has been a delight to watch. 1 out. Cooper Loyal. 0 for 2 today. He also took a walk in the first, scored a run. Man, just fouled that one off. Tried to hold up, but Reynolds come right out to hitters today. It's good to see. It's top of 8. Man, this game has flown by. High and tight there, though. 1-1. Well, it's actually... Ooh. That's a ball. Just every once in a while. I think the umpire just wants to hear me go, ooh. That was an interesting call. 2-1. That ball's popped up well out of the park. A little bit of danger for concessions people who are always intensely interested in the foul ball horn. Why foul ball horn? Well, we're concessions outside the stadium, and you completely understand it then. 2-2, but really worked that one a little bit. Really overly massaged that pitch. Full count. Fouled off again. Cooper Loyal hanging in there. That's a high fly ball that Hubble glides under. Lets the ball melt into his leather glove. That's 2 out. Nice start here for Reynolds. Casey Wensley comes to the plate. I have to say that was one of the least enthusiastic. It's almost like the intro was somewhat undone by the eating of a hamburger. Yeah. The hamburger's bringing you down there, PA guy. There's some... Got a little delay here as they're looking for a little more light. Which is fair, you know. Dusk is starting to fall here on good old George Taylor Field. It's a very reasonable request. Fast car comes over to PA, and I will once again say I much prefer the original. But I'm not really a fan of the kind of like faux country accent. So we got some time to talk about faux country. I mean, maybe it's a real country accent. I don't know. I've never really understood it or been partial to it. Umpire here is waiting. And you got the curse of the hot dog has happened the last couple games where get a hot dog and then find the inning going on for 20 minutes, and then I have a really cold hot dog to contend with. Today I have a hamburger, but then we got the delay due to the lights. Everything seemed to be going so well. I thought the curse had been broken, but no, here we are with another item of once hot food getting very cold. Casey Wensley out of Wheaton College from Raynham High School. I'm getting it right. A mid-year transfer from the University of Mississippi. M-I, crooked letter I, crooked letter I, P-P-I. There's a little something I learned from Flo on Alice. You may remember Flo, the sassy waitress from the TV show Alice. Just for all of those of you out there that are 55 or older, you'll understand the reference. I know you do. And there the lights are now on here at George Taylor Field. I'm not sure how much of a difference it is making. It's just nice pitch from J.J. Reynolds. 0-2, quick. Look at this. Could be a little something. Look at Tejas. Solid pitching. Reynolds with that glove again, fully over his face. Just hiding his eyes like an outlaw. There's a ground ball up the middle. Shin. Oh, the ball slowed down the last second. Wow. So that's a single for Casey Wensley. I think the infield does some things to the ball. I'll just say that. It's usually an adventure, and quite often it slows down the ball a lot more than the infielders anticipate. I think that's what happened there to Shin. There we go. Anthony Hector, I'm sure, is super glad to see the end of Corpin, who really had him. So I guess the choked up bat is just a thing for Hector, because I was kind of marveling as to the point of it last time versus Corpin. It's not exactly throwing like a lights out fastball. It's 0-1 is the count. There goes the runner. That was a strike. Nice toss again by Butts. Safe though. That's a stolen base for Wensley. You know, Butts has definitely found his best self there. That was I believe that was a strike. I could have sworn he made the strike symbol. No, ball's ripped foul down the first baseline. Anthony Hector, I mean, he got a single in the first, but even that was an uncomfortable single, I would put it. They just found a little hole with the shortstop playing close to second base. 1-2 is the count here, as I suspected. There he got some. Nice job by Reynolds. So that's a scoreless top of the eighth. It's 6-3 Pilots going to the bottom of the eighth. Ironbacks trying to fight back.
Please enjoy the Ironbacks tribute to summer baseball.
Nice little K there by J.J. Reynolds. I guess we're sticking around just to further kill my hamburger.
Online all season long. Visit us at ironbacks.ca.
Okay, welcome back to George Taylor Field for the bottom of the 8th. Ironbacks down by 3 runs. They got a pinch hitter for Bryce Bedrosian. It'll be Jax Curie. Curie facing Warner Gearhart, the lefty. Gearhart, another pitcher. There's a first pitch pop up into right field. That'll be easily handled by the right fielder, Finicario. It's 1 out. Gearhart is also from Oberlin College, so it's been all Oberlin College pitchers today for Newark. Gearhart from Riverside, Connecticut. Well, his ground ball is short. Easy true hops, throw to first. That's 2 out real quick. That's 2 pitches, 2 outs. Nice play by Cooper Loyal there. He's been good at short today. Newark's been excellent in the field. It's been a feature of their game. Is this? Wait a second. Brock Granger and doing a bat for Kakeru Tsukamoto. And that seems almost tragic, everybody. Tsukamoto was having a fine day. It almost broke my heart. I'm a little saddened by this change of events. First, Paulie Goodness doesn't start for Newark, which took away my whole oh my goodness thing, and now they took Kakeru Tsukamoto out of the game. But Brock Granger's a good man, so we'll look to see what he can do. Down to 4 outs here for the Ironbacks. Granger taking that up high for ball 2. But a fine day for Tsukamoto. He's my player of the game. Nice. Foul down the first baseline. Granger, of course, from Cobequid, Ontario. Played 42 games at Panola College. 271, 2 home runs. Big Marc-Andre Fleury fan. And why wouldn't you be? If you don't like Marc-Andre Fleury, what's the matter with you? Ball outside and low. It's 3-1 the count to Granger. They could use some base runners however they come. Top of the lineup. We've been waiting for Granger to hopefully start something. That's a strike. It is indeed. Granger is a big fan of it, but just on the outside corner. Gearhart battling back. Look sharp. Look pretty sharp out here. Oh. Ouch. That's a hit by pitch. But as we mentioned, base runners however you can get them. Carter Shin comes up.
The shortstop, number 5, Carter Shin.
We got a pinch runner coming in for Granger. Try to get you information on who that is as soon as they move. Devin Medor is a pinch runner. Mel Romana to the rescue. Jukebox Hero from Foreigner, adding to the drama. Ironbacks looking for more base runners. Ooh, goodness gracious. That was an ankle-high fastball for a strike. 0-1. Tough start for Shin. See if he fights back from that. That was a strike. It's 0-2. He's got a quick delivery, Gearhart, on occasion. And he's got a real good curveball. Let's see if he goes with that here at 0-2. There it was. Poked into center field. Nice catch. Some great fielding by Newark tonight. Tip your hat to that. Nice catch by Chris Finicario out in center field. It's 6-3 going into the ninth for the Pilots. The Perfect Game Collegiate Baseball League. Always a mouthful, that name. Promise you good baseball. We've had it tonight. 6-3 coming into the ninth. Ironbacks down by 3. After a really awful first where they gave up 6 runs, nothing but zeros for the last 7 innings. Some great pitching for Jaden Corpin, who battled back off that tough start. Gave us good solid 7 innings. And J.J. Reynolds coming in relief. Excellent last inning. 1-1 here, and he's facing the answer trivia question: who is the first hitter to hit a home run here at George Taylor Field? Norbrooks is the answer, and he's been scary all night. It's 2-1 is the count. He could put a charge of the ball. The wind is still blowing real strong out to left. Got some folks out at the picnic table there, perhaps hoping for a souvenir. Third base coach whiffs on that, but he didn't touch it like Richard Griffin, so it's not an error in the third base coach this time. It's 2-2. It's a count. Actually, we got 2 picnic tables occupied out there in left field, so they know who's up. But we'll see how Brooks handles the J.J. Reynolds stylings of the kind of outlaw glove over the face, except for the eyes. A little nod. Here comes a 2-2 pitch. Ooh, goodness, that was tight. That was close. 3-2. Brooks didn't seem too chagrined by that. That was a at bat. That's a single for Brooks, who, full credit to him. That was the first curveball I think he saw from J.J. Reynolds, and Reynolds saved it. Saved it for the 3-2 count, and Brooks hung in there and just guided it in between the shortstop and third baseman. That's a baseball player's hit. So you got nobody out, runner on first. Ball is hit in the air down the first base line. Bishop tracking it. Nice play. Man, Andrew Bishop again. Ever since he played second base, he's just everything you could want a ball player to be and more. So we got 1 out. Runner on first base. Brooks taking a pretty aggressive lead there off Reynolds. We'll see what he does here with Chris Finicario. Made a fine play in center field to end the last inning off of Carter Shin's sinking liner. And galloped in and picked that off his shoelaces. There goes the runner. That ball is just, whoa, nice try by Keene. The ball just falls in front of him. That's a single. Not much he could do there. Nice try. We've got runners on first and third with one out. Nick DiGiacomo is at the plate. DiGiacomo really looked like he was honing in on Corpin last at bat before he flied out deep to left field to the fence. Here comes Richard Griffin to have a chat with his pitcher in the infield. That's a third visit to the mound for the Ironbacks. For those of you keeping track at home, Griffin looking around, holding court. Everybody's listening attentively. Bishop to his right, Butts to his left. Butts puts his mask down. A little tap to Reynolds. Burlington's own J.J. Reynolds. This is a big moment. If the Ironbacks are going to have any chance going into the bottom of the ninth, they really need nothing to happen here. Also, donuts are on the line, of course. You know, I mean, it's a scoreless ninth means 10 free donuts for some lucky fans here. And they're Beechwood donuts. There goes the runner. That's ripped into the left. Forget about your donuts. That's an RBI single to Giacomo. Like I said, looking more and more honed in as the day progressed. Gets a little love back for that approach. RBI single makes it 7-3 Pilots here in the top of the ninth with one out. Jacob Paletto showing us some fine defensive stylings here tonight. But him and his baby blue bat, not so much. They've been 0 for 3. Got an RBI sac fly, though. He rips that into right, but that should be easy for Keene. Charges in. That's 2 out. They're 1 out away from going to the bottom of the ninth, down by 4. That's a mountain, but you know, it's doable. We're saying there's a chance if he can get this out here against Liam Wagner. That Dumb and Dumber reference there is from my friend Jesse, who couldn't be with us here tonight. And if he was, he would have done that himself because he kind of specializes in those references. 2 out, runners on first and second. Reynolds trying to get out of this inning without any further damage. That ball's off the end of the bat. Hubble should have no problems at all with this. And he doesn't. So it is 7-3 for the Pilots going into the bottom of the ninth against the Ironbacks. Welcome back to George Taylor Field. They have a submariner in the game for Newark, which is kind of fun. Ty Baker out of Hudson, New Hampshire. That's his hometown. He attends Rivier University, plays for the Raiders there. Appeared in 12 games this year. He recorded a 0.81 ERA over 22 and a third innings. Posted 17 strikeouts. Let's see how he does here against the meat of the Ironbacks order, starting with Connor Gatens. Gatens 1 for 3. Strike one. My goodness, that's something unfolding. That's a hit by pitch. You know, you'll take that, and I don't even think that hurt. You know what I mean? Usually we say ouch when somebody gets hit by a pitch, but that was like, no, I think he's okay. That was, yeah. That's about as like somebody throwing a marshmallow at you. Alex Keene coming up now, the runner on first, and they're down by 4, but you know, Keene's been real dialed in lately. 1 for 3 tonight with a single. That's strike one. Man, he looks like he's picking something up, his keys up off the ground before he delivers the pitch. That's some kind of delivery. Let's see what Gatens does on first. I think that's outside. Goodness gracious. It's a sight to behold. Gotta love baseball. Got to love baseball. It was a study in contrast tonight. Burkholder, Gearhart, Ty Baker, a butcher, a baker, a candlestick maker. That ball's ripped into center field, but that should be no problem whatsoever for Chris Finacario with another nice catch. You know, made it look easy because it was pretty easy. Actually got a, oh wow, sorry, Gord just pointing out to me that there's a hawk on the top of the backstop. There's a couple birds actually hanging out. It's all the rage with the birds these days. That's strike one. Marcus Butts trying to keep this inning alive. I tell you, the Newark defense has been terrific tonight. Full credit to them. Offense went cold after the first inning, but their defense has been terrific. That's a little high from Baker. He's not lighting up the radar gun by any means, but I imagine like if you're a hitter, it's got to be like just hard not to be transfixed watching that windup. Oh my goodness. 2-1. Pretty hard to lay off too. It's almost like an eephus pitch if it was thrown underhand. That ball's ripped into left, single. Marcus Butts, there you go. And that brings up everybody's favorite, sometimes second baseman, Andrew Bishop. 2 for 3 tonight. He stole a base. He's made some fine defensive plays. It feels like that game at second base just got him attached, reunited with his mojo. So you got runners at first and second, 1 out. Andrew Bishop at the plate. Bishop came in tonight batting .245. Ooh, just on the outside corner. That's strike one to him. 2 doubles, 10 RBIs. 10 RBIs leads the team coming into tonight's game. I still feel like he hasn't found his exact best self at the plate. So we'll see what happens here. 0-1 count. Oh, my goodness. Your eyes must light up sometimes seeing those pitches come floating on in like they're in like a Macy's parade. 0-2 is the count. Runners on first and second. Ironbacks down by 4. Ah, it's fouled off. Bishop fighting in there. They're down to the last 2 outs. Oh, in on the hands. That's a little pop up in the infield. That'll be handled no problem at short by Cooper Loyal. That's 2 out. Runners on first and second. Bishop couldn't lay off that one. Up high and in the hands. Carter Kipp has had a rough night. Here's a chance for him to break out of that. He's 0 for 3. He's facing a different pitcher. Oh, fouls that one off. Down to their last out. Runners on first and second. Facing the unorthodox submariner, Ty Baker. It's inside, 1-1. Good take. Man, it's like Baker's doing his sideways limbo, delivering his pitch. Here we go. Oh, he got underneath it. That should end the game as some players converge, and that's it. The second baseman hauls it in, but it was a pretty solid game here for the at George Taylor Field. But the Ironbacks lose 7-3 to the Newark Pilots. We'll see you Sunday. Double